Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cami, and in today's video I'm really excited because I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Disney College program and basically just like everything about it and like the application process, because I recently applied and I recently got in for the fall semester. So I am going to be heading to the Disney College program starting August 26th, going until January 10th of 2025. So I'm going to be there for quite some time, and I'm just really excited about this new opportunity, and I feel like not a lot of people know what it is and how you can do it, which I also had a lot of questions about it. So I'm going to be answering those questions and just like giving you guys an introduction into what the Disney College program is all about. So let's get right into it. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my iPad, just like to make sure I like touch on everything that I wanted to share with you guys. But basically, first thing is, what is the Disney College program? So basically, the Disney College program is a paid internship that you can do with Disney. So basically what you do is you apply on the website that they have for the Disney College program, and you basically look through all of the different roles they have, which are kind of like jobs that they have at the park. And you basically scroll through all of those. They have many different options. So I would take some time, really go through them and see what interests you. It's really a way to see what you would want to do and what would really fit you and your interests if you were actually to do the Disney College program. Just take a good look at those. There are a lot of different ones. They have a lot of different areas of interest. So there's like things to do with culinary, there's things to do with like hotel management, there's things to do with like acting and rides, a lot of different options. So there's something for everyone. One of the biggest tips I will give, even though, again, disclaimer, I haven't gone yet, so I haven't actually been through the program yet. So everything that I'm saying is based on my application process and what I've heard from other people who have actually completed the program. With all of the different options they have, it really allows you to pick something that goes along with your major and what you're studying in school. You don't necessarily have to do that. It's entirely up to you what you put down as your choices on your application, but normally people do pick things that go with things that they are studying in school because it's a good learning opportunity to really get into like the nitty-gritty and get some really good work in internship experience with what you're already planning to do for like your career and with school. So I definitely do recommend picking something that you are already super interested in and something that would really help you in your knowledge of the career that you choose to do in the future. So I'm going to tell you guys what I put on my application for my top 3 choices for the roles that I want to do most, and I'll put little descriptions. So the first one that I put down was to work in merchandise. So my really good close friend from home's mom actually did the Disney College program when she was in college, and this is the role that she had, and she told me like a little bit about it, and it sounded really fun and something that I feel like I would like because I have experience working in retail. I've worked in retail for like 3.5 years, so I definitely have the experience to do it, and I love all the gift shops and all the different merchandise that they sell at the parks. And I just think that would be so fun to see all of like the new products and just getting to interact with like lots of different people who come in to buy certain things. And I just also love shopping, so it kind of works out perfectly. And I also really wanted to do it as well because there's great opportunities to like pick up shifts if I wanted to in different parks, because if I'm trained in this role, I will be able to do it at many different locations around Disney. So that would be literally perfect to be like multi-trained, I guess. So second I put down is being a seater. So this is under like their food and beverage role section. And I also have experience with this. I was a hostess and a waitress for one of my first jobs when I turned 15. So I definitely have done this before. I haven't done it in a while, but I know kind of like the gist of it, and I have some basic understanding of how to be a seater. And I also really love all of like the restaurants and different cuisine that they have at the parks. I especially loved when I went to Epcot. I would always eat at the Italian restaurant in Italy because let me just tell you, Italian food is hands down some of the best food in the world, and it was just so good. And me and my friend love Italian food, so it was like the perfect choice for us. So I would also love to do that, and I feel like you would get really good experience doing that. Also, like customer service is a big thing with that. And again, I could probably cover other people's shifts and stuff, possibly, but this one not as much as merchandise. But that is what I put down for my second option. And for my third one, I kind of forget which one I put down, but I will tell you guys what I think it is. It was under the lodging section. So they have a few different ones. They have bell service and dispatch greeter, a club level lounge, and a resort concierge. And I think that is the one I put down. I'm like looking through again just to make sure, but I think the resort concierge was the one that I put down for my third option. Something I don't have tons of experience in, but it is like working with people, and it kind of reminds me of working in like customer service and being like one-on-one with the guests. So I feel like I have done that in some capacity, at least being a hostess and also working in retail. So I feel like that's not too far off. I'd obviously have to be trained a lot in like the different specifics, but I also have always been interested in like working in like a hotel management or a hotel kind of role. Maybe that could be a future thing for me. I'm not really sure, but that's always kind of interested me. So I thought that maybe there's a chance that if I feel like I'd be interested enough in doing that. So that is the last one that I put down. But again, there are a lot of other options and a lot of other things you could do. For example, I'll just read through all of them. Food and beverage, retail and sales, operations, recreation, entertainment, and lodging. And there's a lot of different roles within that overall bigger role that you can apply for. So obviously, like I said, just do your digging, do your research, make sure you know what you want to do and what would be your best fit, because especially if you're going to be doing this and getting paid and you have to really commit to the role and do this job while you're there for however long you're there, you definitely want it to be something that you feel like you could want to do for that long period of time and really get invested in, because you want to learn a lot, obviously, if you're going to commit to the role. Some other things that I wanted to talk about aside from the role are kind of like the time frame. So with the time frame, you have a lot of different start and end dates that you can choose to do. I decided to do the one that felt most comfortable with me and my schedule. I wanted to start more towards like the late end of August, because that kind of feels like normal school time when you would leave. I don't want to leave super early. Personally, I still want to get my summer and like feel like I'm only gone for as long as I need to be gone, and then come back in time to get settled and go back to school for second semester to start. So that is what I chose to do, but there are many different start and end dates that you will see on the dates list that is posted once you get the role and you get accepted. You can also extend how long you're there, I found out, which I think is really cool. So if you do pick a certain amount of time and you're like, I love this, I want to stay, I feel like I have a lot more that I want to do here, etc., etc., there is a way to do that, which I think is awesome, because you never know till you're down there if that's what you want to do. I might say that I want to leave on the date that I want to leave now, but when I get there and I actually experience what it's like to be there and to be working and to be in that atmosphere, I might want to stay longer, which, you know, you never know. So there is an opportunity to be able to do that. Also, want to preface about the whole schooling thing. I've heard a lot of different ways to explain it, but basically you are there working. You are a full-time worker who works 30 to 40 hours, if not more, depending on your role, a week. So you are there earning whatever their minimum wage is. Right now, they have in their application that you would be getting 16 an hour there. So that is like public knowledge. It used to be 15, also used to be like a lot lower, but it's 16 now, which I think is a pretty good wage to be making. You work at the park in your role, depending where you get assigned, and that is basically like your main thing that you're doing when you are there. You do get to live in dorms that they have on their property, on the Disney property. They are called Flamingo Crossing, and they are very newly up-to-date, beautiful buildings. There's like 3 different room styles. You can get a 2x2, a 4x2, or I think a 4x4. So there's that. I haven't gone through that process yet. I will maybe film a video about what that's all like with like the dorm situation once it gets closer. That is way closer to move-in date and move-in time, so I haven't had to do anything for that quite yet. You live there and they have very great amenities. They have, you know, your average like washer dryer situation. You have a gym. You also have 2 pools, which I think is really nice because the weather there is obviously a lot warmer than where I'm from. I go to school in Massachusetts, so this is going to be a little bit of a different change for me. You can have a car. I am not bringing my car, but you can. You have to pay extra for that. But schooling wise, you obviously have to talk to your school about how all this will work out. There is a way to get credit through your school for, I'm not sure if it's for like classes credit or if it's just for like an internship credit, but there's a way through your school to get credit for doing this program. I would highly recommend looking into that because a whole semester away from school can put a lot of people behind and is one of like the biggest reasons why people don't decide to do this program, and is one of the reasons that I was also apprehensive to trying it, but I knew that it was a dream of mine since I was a kid, so I was like, I really want to see if I even get in before I make any clear decisions, and I did get in, which is so awesome. So that is definitely something I'm going to be talking about with my academic advisor, just seeing what can be done about that. But if there is a way, I would definitely look into that with your particular school and your program to see how that can be done. But what people do is they'll take online classes through their school. You could take your regular like 4 to 5 classes if you're up for it. You can also, like someone at my school who's done it before, she took like 2 basic like gen ed classes that she had to take that were like for her degree, but they weren't anything super specific. So again, that is also up to you and up to your school, because if you do 4 to 5 classes, that is going to be a lot. I've heard that it's very overwhelming to put all of that on your plate at once. They do offer specific like study days. So if you're a student who's taking a lot of classes or just feels very overwhelmed and knows that they're gonna want a set day to have that, they have that option. So you can talk to, I don't know quite yet who the person is, but someone in the program who can help you do that. They also have like tutors and people there to help you with your academics. So it's not just for people who are taking the semester off or people who don't have a lot of classes on their plate. They will have resources and people there to help you get through a semester of school, because it's not really always accessible and realistic for everyone to take a whole semester off, which I am not doing. I am personally going to try to take 2 classes at the most for my degree, but I'm not going to take anything over that personally, just because again, I don't want to overwhelm myself. And with working full time, this is the first time that I'm going to be working and living on my own as well as doing school. I've done online school and working at the same time, but never living on my own where I have to, you know, get my own groceries and things like that. So that is also another point that I wanted to bring up. They have kitchens in every single dorm situation that you are put in, but they do not have like a dining hall or food given to you. You have to do that for yourself based on the money you make and go out and either catch the shuttle. They have lots of shuttles to different places around the area, so don't be worried about that. But they have that option, so you have to go get your own groceries and things like that. So you really are like living on your own in a different way that you normally don't at college unless you've had your own apartment before. And then I also wanted to talk quickly about cost, because that is a part of it. And I don't think a lot of people know exactly how much goes into it or how much you have to spend or save or whatever to be a part of this program. And that is one thing that, as someone who has a lot of scholarships and things that help pay for school and a lot of loans, that was a big part of me being worried that I wouldn't be able to do it. So what really goes into it is there is a non-refundable fee that you have to pay once you've gotten accepted and you are deciding to do the program. It is like $400 and something, which is a lot, at least for someone like me. But what I actually think is really nice is you have 2 payments of it. It's cut in half to like $240 that you pay 2 different times. So when you get in, you have 7 days to pay the fee and accept the offer, which I did. So you have 7 days to pay $240. And then 8 weeks before you actually leave to go to the program, you have another $240 that you need to pay to the program. And it does break it down for you on like a breakdown sheet of what each fund and what each dollar really is going to and why it is the price that it is. Also wanted to say, so you get paid every week at the Disney College program, depending on your role, depending on how many hours you work, but you get your rent for living there taken out of your paycheck every week, so you don't have to worry about paying it yourself. But there is rent that needs to be paid every week, which I don't think a lot of people know. I didn't really know that, but it can be quite expensive. It depends which dorm style you live in. The cheapest is obviously the 2x2, and then it goes up for every different room style they have. So keep that in mind. They will take that out directly. So it's not necessarily a place where you're going to be saving a ton of money, but it's more for the experience. I've heard, obviously I haven't done it, so I don't know, but that's what a lot of people say, just to keep in mind. So keep that in mind if you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to go here and I'm going to save a lot of money and, you know, be like keeping it away, putting it away. That's not necessarily the point. I've seen some people who have posted that they've worked a lot more hours, a lot of people who have worked less hours than they would have wanted. So it kind of just depends on your situation. So that's kind of up to you, but I wouldn't make that defer you from not applying, because that is one thing that I was a little worried about. But I'm not really saving a ton as a working college student anyway, and this would be a way better experience for what I'm going to be doing regardless. So that's also one big reason why I wanted to do it. Lastly, I'll just go into like how the application went and how it like started. So after you initially apply, the application takes like 15 to 20 minutes, if that, on their website. You have to then set up a phone interview that you will do with someone from the program who works there, who's going to interview you and ask you questions. It's like a 15-minute interview, and I scheduled that. And then when I scheduled that, they literally just call you. And I personally did not prepare a ton for this interview. I had no prior knowledge of what maybe they would ask. I didn't ask anybody or look up any videos on how to prepare for the interview. So I went in pretty blind, and I wouldn't say it was like my best interview I've ever done at all, but I still got in. So take that and know that you don't have to do crazy prep. And if you do, that's a good idea, but I didn't, and it's still okay. So they obviously like ask you your name, they ask you the stuff about your application, which I forgot what I put for my third role. And I was freaking out because I was like, I don't remember, and that's okay. But I would make sure you have your application answers up in front of you, because they're gonna ask you questions based on your application. Like, it's all application based, like what did you put down for your roles? And they're just gonna ask like work experience, and they're gonna ask you questions like based on the roles that you want to do. They're going to ask you if certain scenarios were to happen, or this happened, or, you know, whatever goes on, what would you do to work through that? What would you do to fix that situation? Things like that, so they can see if you'd be a good fit for that particular role. So it's a lot of hypothetical questions. So just try your best to give like solid answers. I feel like I rambled a little bit, but that's okay, because I feel like I gave a good answer overall. And after the interview is done, they will give you an email within the 2 weeks to say if you got in or not, and then you have the 7 days to accept the offer and submit your deposit. And that is what I did, and now I am going to be a DCP member. I am so excited. I've heard so many things, and I've also heard so many people have so many great experiences, and I just can't wait to be a part of the company and organization that I've loved since I was a little kid. So I'm super excited, and I will keep you guys updated with a lot more of the things that happen within this process. I just can't wait to share the journey with you guys, and I will definitely be filming when I'm down there. So also follow me on TikTok and Instagram. That will be the place where I give the most updates, because it'll be a lot more shorter videos and vlogs and things like that, and a lot of posts about my experience there and just like everything in between. I'm super excited because I'm going to be there for the Halloween and Christmas season, Thanksgiving as well, all of those fun times. And if anyone knows me, I am a Christmas girl till I die, so being there for that is going to be so magical and so exciting, even though I'm going to be missing my family. But that is okay, because I'm getting a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I feel like everyone should apply to, even if they have some worries and doubts. I would say just go for it. It's so awesome. Also, one thing I wanted to say before I ended this video is you do get discounts to the parks, and you get free access every day. Like, you have a free day off. A lot of people just go to the parks all day. It's free access. You get free entry. So keep that in mind as like a little perk that you get when you go. And I think that is so awesome, and I can't wait to use that perk myself and show you guys me going to the parks. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned for more videos.